has begun to generate modest but meaningful political convergence around the unity of Sudan, preservation of the state and rejection of military victory, civilian leadership, constitutional legitimacy, and most importantly, Sudanese ownership. We should neither exaggerate nor underestimate this development. It is not yet a political settlement. It is not. But it represents the most important political opportunity presently available. The Sudanese themselves must remain at the center of this political process. Your Excellency, our collective responsibility is to protect this emerging, small, but a very visible convergence while renewing determined effort to end the war. The political process and the humanitarian and security tracks must reinforce one another. This meeting intended to strengthen cooperation between IGAD, the African Union, the United Nations, the League of Arab States, the European Union, and the Quartet and the Quintet, and all other partners. Each brings distinct comparative advantages. Together we can achieve far more than any one institution acting alone. I am convinced that the cooperation represented in this room will make us more effective supporting the people of Sudan. Let us use this opportunity to develop a common narrative, a narrative which prevails the power of the people of Sudan, a common strategic assessment and practical division of labor that strengthens our collective contribution. Sudan may not lack attention now, as earlier Pekka has said that 5 multilateral institutions are working together to find a solution for the Sudanese. But most importantly, it requires a strategic coherence. It may not lack initiatives, but disciplined complementarity. Above all, it requires a Sudanese own political process supported by the United Region. Therefore, use this consultation, Your Excellency, to deepen our shared analysis, strengthen our strategic coherence, and translate our deliberations into the practical outcome that enables us to act in unison in support of the Sudanese people. I am confident that the spirit of cooperation represented in this room will help forge a more coherent and effective collective response. Together, let us reaffirm our shared determination to accompany the Sudanese people to their pursuit of peace, stability, and sustainable political settlement. I thank you and wish you a fruitful and productive deliberation. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, for those inspiring remarks and for reaffirming IGAD's commitment to fostering coordinated regional and international efforts toward sustainable peace and stability in Sudan. It is now my pleasure to invite His Excellency Ambassador Tukasagui Masahiro, Japan's Special Envoy for the Horn of Africa, to deliver his remark. Excellency.
His Excellency Dr. Musalia Musabadi, Prime Cabinet Secretary and Cabinet Secretary of Foreign and Diaspora Affairs. The Secretary General of the United Nations, His Excellency Dr. Mohamed Quintet, special envoys, ambassadors, representatives, all the protocols observed. First of all, before I'm going to the speech, let me just actually make a quick correction. I have communicated to IGAD this, but I know that it is a bit short notice. My name is Takanobu Nakahara, Taka, Chargé d'Affaires of Embassy of Japan. Unfortunately, his Ambassador Takasugi cannot make it for some important reasons. So let me just make sure that, I know that it's a bit of short notice, but let me just make sure that I made this correction. And thank you very much once again all for organizing this and also preparing for today's important session. And thank you very much for all the guests once again, including those who are flying to Nairobi from outside of the country to attending for this important occasion. And also, let me also appreciate for Kenya, for the Republic of Kenya, to also hosting this event. And also, once again, thank you very much, Dr. Mudavadi, for taking your very, very important time to be attending for this event. Japan is deeply concerned about the severe humanitarian crisis and the deterioration of the security condition in Sudan. It is important to ensure Sudan's sovereignty, unity, and territorial integrity. Japan is in a position to respect for human rights, de-escalation of the situation, immediate and permanent ceasefire, cessation of hostility, improvement of humanitarian access, and advancement of civilian transition. This is Japan's position. And we support diplomatic efforts toward restoring peace and security. Furthermore, Japan continues our effort to improve the Sudanese situation in Sudan. Since 2023, Japan has been providing more than $248 million equivalent assistance in Sudan and the surrounding countries. In areas such as food, assistance to refugee and women populations, and also health. Today's meeting, organized by IGAD, is one of Japan's efforts toward peace and security in Horn of Africa, and also effort to materialize the three pillars, one of the three pillars of Japan's diplomacy, which is realizing Africa as peaceful continent, which has been announced by Foreign Minister Motegi this May in here, Nairobi. Japan has been continuing efforts toward peace and security in Sudan through meetings organized by IGAD and other efforts. We would like to continue our efforts toward improvement of the situation, closely, of course, coordinating with related countries and also like-minded countries. By the way, I would also like to emphasize that Japan considers accountability to our taxpayers is of utmost importance. We as Japan continues to monitor closely without interruption, so that our funding will be properly managed and utilized. Hope today's meeting will be a fruitful one, and thank you very much all for listening, and thank you very much for attending. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your remarks and for the excellent partnership and generous support of the government of Japan in advancing peace building and mediation initiatives in our region. It is my pleasure now to invite Dr. Muhammad Ibn Chambas, AU High Representative, Silencing Zagan, and the Chair of the Quantity. Excellency, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Yes, I will stand on the protocols already established while recognizing the presence among us of His Excellency Dr. Musalia Mudavadi, Prime Cabinet Secretary for Foreign Affairs and Diaspora Affairs of Kenya, our distinguished guest speaker, who will also be declaring our meeting open this afternoon. It is a genuine pleasure to be back in Nairobi, and I want to thank you, my brother and friend, Executive Secretary of IGAD, for the kind invitation to participate in this third forum of special envoys and representatives on the Sudan peace process. In that regard, I want to join you in warmly welcoming all special envoys to this meeting. I want to thank also Japan for the support to IGAD to make this important gathering possible. Allow me to also acknowledge and thank His Excellency, the Cabinet Secretary for Foreign and Diaspora Affairs of the Republic of Kenya, Dr. Musalia Mudavadi. Your Excellency, your presence here today and your willingness to deliver the keynote address reflects Kenya's commitment to the Sudan peace process. We're deeply honored by your participation in today's meeting. The situation in Sudan, despite all efforts to resolve it, has continued to defy solutions, thereby inflicting enormous human suffering on the citizens, a huge percentage of whom are displaced in their own country. The war has continued to destroy livelihoods and critical civilian infrastructure, which may be difficult to replace even after peace is restored. It is also undermining regional peace and security. The consequences extend far beyond Sudan's borders, affecting neighboring countries and posing significant challenges to the wider Horn of Africa. The complex nature of Sudan crisis means that all efforts to resolve it must be coordinated to ensure unity of purpose and effective and direct messaging to the parties that they should cease hostilities. This is why this meeting is important. Coordination is key to ensuring that all efforts to resolve the crisis are focused in the same direction. And I'm delighted that we are on the right path in that regard, with this meeting further demonstrating our commitment to forge a united front in our determination to end the scourge of war in Sudan. This is the third in the series, and we must thank IGAD for bringing us all together once again. IGAD's commitment to peace in Sudan has been sustained over the years through collaboration with other institutions. The African Union has been a major partner and natural partner, I might say. Both organizations work as a team in the crisis that engulfed Sudan in the immediate post-Bashir era, and together with the United Nations, formed what we call the trilateral mechanism to resolve the ensuing crisis. We have continued that collaboration as continental and regional organizations, with almost the same principles contained in our roadmaps for the resolution of the conflict in Sudan. Our respective institutions recognize the magnitude of the task and the necessity to coordinate and collaborate with other partners. Since this important appointment, I've enjoyed close working relationship with my brother, Maulana Lawrence Korbandi, drawing upon our respective comparative advantages while speaking with one voice. Our partnership reflects the principles of African solidarity, subsidiarity, complementarity, and shared responsibility that underpin the African peace and security architecture. As I mentioned earlier, coordination is key if we are to achieve success in Sudan. As a result, we have strengthened our relationships with the League of Arab States, the United Nations, and the European Union that has provided support for both the African Union and IGAD over the years. The quintet, established out of the necessity to ensure proper coordination and a unified front in the Sudan peace process, has made significant progress since its inception. And we are now in the process of establishing a working group to prepare for Sudanese dialogue. That is a working group of Sudanese themselves. Indeed, we held the first exploratory meeting in Addis Ababa, and we are in the process of having preparations for a second meeting in September this year. The idea is to move from just consultation to concrete steps in getting Sudanese civilian and political actors ready the day after the guns are silenced. This forum presents an opportunity to move beyond fragmentation towards harmonized action. The African Union and IGAD, the League of Arab States, the United Nations, and the European Union, we all stand together in this process. We are united in our commitment to an inclusive Sudanese-led political process. We are united in our demand for an immediate cessation of hostilities and unhindered humanitarian access, and in our resolve to silence the guns and restore peace, stability, and dignity to the people of Sudan. Thank you once again, Your Excellency, Prime Cabinet Secretary. Thank you, Excellency, Dr. Wagner, Executive Secretary, IGAD, for convening us. And we assure you that today's process will go forward to consolidate the efforts we are all involved in to return peace to Sudan. Distinguished colleagues, let me use this forum to ask us to strengthen our coordination, sharpen our strategy, and reaffirm our shared purpose and commitment for peace for the Sudanese people. And I thank you.
Thank you very much for your remarks and the continued collaboration